Hi, good morning. Once again, my beautiful viewers. Hope you guys having a great weekend. I'm about to dive into another video. Great information I want to share with folks. And do I think these are useful information? Absolutely. Iceland is cracking open at an alarming rate, by the way, that the expert have never seen before. Now, you're probably asking, why is this guy talking about Iceland opening up? Which is true. It's true. Now, the reason why Iceland is cracking open, which I will get to in a sec, let me explain why. It's all because of what is called the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. It's actually a fault line. It runs from the Arctic, the North Pole, all the way down to the South Pole. It is the longest fault line here on the planet. It's called the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Now, the reason why, knowing that Iceland is cracking open and it's extremely obvious. Basically, all you got to do get on Google and type in "ground cracks Iceland" and you'll see it's huge. The cracks are moving a lot way faster than what it normally does. It's speeding up basically the opening up of these cracks. Now, how are other places going to be affected? Let me explain why. This is what's going to happen to places like the Caribbean. Yes, British Virgin Islands, Saint Martin, Trinidad and Tobago, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. All these places are going to suffer from this. Let me list more places. The North American continent, on the east coast of the North American continent, places like South Carolina is going to be affected. Places like Ohio is going to be affected. Places like New Jersey, New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, eastern part of Canada, Montreal, Quebec. You get the drift now. This is what's happening, folks. The Atlantic Ridge is moving at an alarming pace. The actual Atlantic Ocean is expanding wider a few centimeters every single year, and these measurements are increasing drastically. Now, where I got this information from, they didn't tell why it's happening, but I'm going to throw this in the video. The reason why it's happening, folks, is because of electromagnetic disturbances, because of the pole shift, what's happening. We live in a binary solar system. We have two suns. I know a lot of people are not going to believe me, and it's not common knowledge, but you're not supposed to know this. That's why it's not common knowledge. Every couple of thousand years, 3,654 years, the second sun come around with 7 planets, 4 moon, and it caused what is called a pole shift. The poles flip. Now, with the pole flipping, this is basically what comes with it, because Earth is actually experiencing a secondary gravitational pull on the planet. And so fault lines are going to act weird, behave in a way where it's not normally behaved in, due to the fact that we have more gravitational pull on our planet. So the Atlantic Ridge is one of the only ridge that actually rise above the seafloor. It's actually a huge mountain above the seafloor. It's going to get so bad that they're going to start seeing mountaintops coming out of the ocean in the Atlantic Ocean. This is because of the Atlantic Ridge and the impact the impact that it's having on the North American continent. The North American continent consists of 6 cratons. All right, the Eastern craton, which is where you find South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, New York, New Jersey. The eastern part of the North American continent is being affected by the Atlantic Ridge. This is the reason why the earthquakes in Canada, on the eastern part of Canada, is going to get worse. This is the reason why the earthquake in New Jersey, it's going to escalate and it's going to get worse. You're going to also start seeing cracks on the North American continent, on the eastern part of the North American continent, a lot more ground cracks due to the fact that the Atlantic Ridge is acting in a way that it's not normally behave. This ridge is basically around 16,000 kilometers from one point of the globe to the next, from the North Pole to the South Pole. Once again, it is the biggest fault line on the planet. And now Iceland is ripping apart. Africa is also splitting apart, but Iceland is ripping apart a lot faster than Africa. Way faster. Actually, in a couple of years, Iceland is going to be split in two two halves. So if you're from Iceland watching my video, pick which half you want to live on the eastern half or on the western half, because that place is just going to split right in two. And if you live there, you already know this information because it's probably all over the news. So once again, giving you guys this information is basically preparing people in the Caribbean. Once again, the Caribbean, you guys are going to get affected. St. Martin, St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, British Virgin Islands. The Virgin Islands is going to be affected. Puerto Rico, you're going to be affected. Dominican Republic, you're going to be affected. And also the eastern part of the North American continent. As the ridge keep expanding bigger and bigger, these seismic activity in these locations I just listed are going to increase drastically. So as I said, this is something that's going to continue for the next 200 years. Once we accept this reality, we can deal with it a lot better, and we're going to live a lot longer. Trust me. If you don't want to accept it, I don't really want to say it. I'm picking my words carefully, but you're going to be the first to go. So see it for what it is. We're no longer living in the same reality. Things are changing. Our planet is no longer the same. The Atlantic Ridge is acting weird in a way we have never seen it. And Iceland right now is splitting apart faster than ever. Once again, feel free to go to all my other social media. Check out all my posts. This is the reason I wear this t-shirt. I'll move the microphone so you can actually see my username. So MIXMASTERXL. You find me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Again, thank you so much for always watching my video. I really appreciate you guys. Stay blessed, and I hope this information helps someone. And as I always say guys, knowing is half the battle. This video is not to spread fear. It's to make you aware, because once again, knowing is half the battle. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, if you start digging and doing your own research, you see that everything I'm saying is absolutely true. Stay blessed.